Hello and welcome to Joy Loves Drama. I'm happy to be here with you again today. So a lot of people have asked me, so it's K-drama for everyone. There's so much going on in the K-drama fandom. There's so many movies, so many series, and everything can be so overwhelming. And people who want to try K-dramas for the first time are like, where do we start from? Like, how do we go about this, maze of information, maze of movies, maze of everything, and find what we are looking for? Fear not, I am with you. Joy to the rescue. So I'm going to give you 5 K-dramas that you can start watching right now, and you do not need to fret or be afraid whether, I may not like it or not. You will definitely like it because these movies and series are super popular, loved by everyone. I mean everyone. So there is no doubt and there is no way that you are not going to love them. They're all like, mild-mannered, not too heavy, those kind of series. And I know you're gonna love them. So let's head down and check them out. So number 1 on my list would be Crashlanding on You. It's a pretty simple, easy to watch series. I'm not going back down into many years ago. There are a lot of series that I could have recommended, but I would say you need to start with Crashlanding on You, because once you watch Crashlanding on You, I guarantee that you're going to be a K-drama lover. It's a guarantee. Starring Hyun and Soyeon. They're finally married, and that was the series that got them hitched. According to all the information we have, we do not know what happened behind closed doors. Anyway, it was set in North Korea. So she had a paragliding accident and she landed up in North Korea, and he found her and he hid her and helped her escape back to her hometown. While in South Korea, she was super popular, very rich, she owned a mega company, but her family was just crazy dysfunctional, for lack of a better description. But I can guarantee you that you will love Crashlanding on You, because it has all the feels, all the romance, and everything that you are looking for. Suspense, drama, romance, comedy. It's a pretty enjoyable drama. So watch it. Crashlanding on You. 16 episodes, and I guarantee you would love it. Let me take you way back into 2007. And in 2007, I introduced you to the world of coffee. And in that world of coffee, we have the series called The Coffee Prince. The Coffee Prince is a series that stars Gongyo and Yo In-hae. Yo In-hae actually had to pretend to be a boy, a guy, a man, so that she could get a job in an all-male cafe. So Gongyo established this cafe, a coffee shop, so that he could sell coffee to and attract the female folk. And his idea was to have attractive men serve in that store. And because Gongyo wanted the job, she pretended to be a guy, and she was actually his right-hand man. And at a point, because they were trying to get him married, he had to pretend to be in a gay relationship so that his grandmother would get off his back, not knowing that the person pretending to be a guy was actually a lady. The movie it's a mix of romance, comedy, and drama. And somewhere down the middle, he was so confused. I felt so bad for the guy, because he was like, I'm not gay. I like women, but I don't know why I like this guy and I'm attracted to this guy. And she also liked him, but she couldn't come out to say that she liked him because she had been pretending all along to be a guy. And he got to a point, he was like, okay, so I like you. I don't care if you're an hermaphrodite, even if you're an animal. I like you, and then she confessed, and then blah 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 blah. The rest is history. So you should try out the Coffee Prince because Kongyo, he was so young back then, and even if you look at his pictures right now, you're like, you're aging so gracefully. Like, can I drink from the divine waters that, oh God, I digress. Okay, Coffee Prince, you should go watch that. Definitely easy going drama for a beginner. You're gonna love it, I guarantee. So let's go to the year 2010. And in 2010, we were introduced to the series called The Secret Garden. It's not your typical, K-drama trope, but it was quite interesting. Hyun again, I mentioned him in Crashlanding starred in this one, and his co-star was Ha-ji-won. Ha-ji-won is a kick-ass action star, and she was badass in this particular series. So it's about body switch. So if you've watched things like Freaky Friday and all those movies where there's like a switch, that is what this drama is about. So Hyunbin is a rich guy, snobbish, arrogant, and Ha-ji-won is she's a stunt lady. So they met on set. I think he was sponsoring a movie, and they met on set, and they had a rather rough interaction. But they've also met at a resort. I think she was doing a stunt job also at the resort. He was also at the resort, and someone gave them some funny drink to drink, and then it rained, and then they woke up in each other's bodies. For the duration of the series, they kept switching. So when it rains, they switch. When it rains, they switch back. So you can imagine Hyunbin, who was an arrogant, skinny a CEO who knew nothing about, martial arts and physical, work or fighting, being in the body of a martial artist, and then by the time she had interviews and had to go for certain auditions, he was absolutely clueless. And then she was trapped in his body, having to make certain decisions for him, and so on and so forth. So it was just a hot mess for both of them. But over time, they fell in love, and then, I'm not going to spoil all the details, but definitely check that one out. Secret Garden, you will definitely enjoy it. It has like 20 episodes. Yes, 20 episodes. So you will love that one. My first recommendation is from 2016, and it's called Goblin, the Lonely and Great God. Goblin, the Lonely and Great God is like, I think I've watched that series about 4 times in the past 2 years. Yes, 4 times in the past 2 years. It stars Gongyo again, Lee Dong-wook. That man just ages like, I don't understand how he ages. And he also stars Kim Go-eun and Yo In-na. So those are the 4 top stars within that drama. It's like in 2 eras. So you have part of the drama taking place in hundreds of years ago, the Joseon era, where the Goblin, the great god, he became a great goblin when he was stabbed and a sword was left in his chest, and he was supposed to roam the earth forever and ever, and until he finds a bride who would pull out the sword from his chest. The goblin in this case is Gong-yo, and then the goblin bride turned out to be Kim Go-eun. So many years later, so he met Kim, and she was a student in high school. I think she was graduating high school, and he has lived for like hundreds of years. So you cannot even begin to start calculating the age difference. So all he wanted at this point was to die. Just find the princess or the goblin bride who will see the the sword in his chest, pull it out so he could die. And she was the only one who could see it. So that was a whole other, romantic, story and build up for both of them, she having to live with them for a while because she was having issues. So she had kind of like a Cinderella story. She had issues with her own family. So there was the Grim Reaper who was also living with the Goblin, and that was played by Lee Dong-wook. And he also fell in love with Yo In-na, and it turned out that they had a very horrible backstory. I'm not going to spoil all those details. You need to figure that out when you watch it, but I can guarantee you that this is another series that you should watch. It's not so, why I recommend this series is because they're not so heavy, they're not too complicated. The stories are simple, the storylines are hugely interesting, and they were mega popular. And everyone who is a K-drama staunch fan at one point or the other have watched any of these series, so I can guarantee you The Great Goblin definitely should be on your watch list. You will enjoy every minute of it. My number 5 recommendation is from the year 2018, and it's called What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. There's no one, I repeat, no one who did not like What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. It was an awesome romantic comedy from start to finish. There was no filler episode, there was no dull moment, there was no let's skip this part. It was chaotically, beautifully scripted and funny from beginning to end, starring Park Seo-joon and Park Mi-young as the lead in the lead role. Oh my God, what's wrong with Secretary Kim? So Park Mi-young was Park Seo-joon's secretary, and she has been his PA secretary for years. And he had frustrated the life out of her because he was a super perfectionist. He was super involved with himself and, arrogant, rich, wealthy, come from wealthy home, etc. And he was just a tall order to live with. And she was just counting the days when she could say, this is my resignation letter, it's over. So apparently she had taken some loans. She had to pay some bad loans for her father. She had to pay for her sister's education and do a whole lot of things for her family. And the day that she realized she had paid off all her debt and she was owing no man anything, she dropped her resignation and says, I'm resigning in 2 months and I will help you find my replacement. He was shocked. He came out of nowhere what? What? Why? Because he felt he was like a saint. So the rest of the series was her trying to find his replacement and him doing everything to make her stay. Apparently, it also turns out that they had some backstory which she wasn't aware of, but he remembered when they were very, very young. They experienced a tragedy together and he kept it in his heart. And that was why he kept her with him. But he didn't explain why he was often nasty to her. That part I didn't get. But yeah, it's K-drama. At the end of the day, when they kiss and make up, you're like, oh. That's what we look for at the end, a happy ending. Every time we go into watching a K-drama, we're always like, please, does it have a happy ending? If it doesn't have a happy ending, I do not want to watch it. I can tell you for free. We all try to avoid K-dramas that do not have happy endings. But I can tell you that this list, there's some happy endings in it. What's Wrong with Secretary Kim? 16 episodes. You will like every single one of them. It's quite intriguing. It deals with childhood trauma and amnesia, memory loss, and sibling rivalry. It was quite interesting. So you should go watch that as well. So that's it, guys. My 5 recommendations for you to watch right now: Crashlanding-on-You, The Coffee Prince, Secretgarden, Goblin, The Great Guardian, and What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. Buzz me afterwards in the comments and tell me what you thought about this fantastic list that I have given you. And if you want more recommendations, you can hit me up and I'll be sure to do another video with another 5 that you should pick up on. From me to you, bye and have a fantastic day.